Today we're diving into Saudi Arabia, but we're looking at how the kingdom is in the middle of one of the most ambitious geographical makeovers in modern history. I mean, they are literally reshaping mountains and deserts, all part of a huge push to build a future that isn't just about oil.
So, when you picture Saudi Arabia, what's the first image that pops into your head? For most of us, right, it's just this endless sea of sand. But what if I told you that picture isn't just incomplete? It's missing the most interesting parts.
Yeah, the reality is way, way more complex. The story of Saudi Arabia today, it's not just about the sand. It's a story of these wild contrasts, of mind-blowing ambition, and it's being written, literally, right onto the face of the country.
Okay, to really get a handle on this, let's take a trip. We're going to go on a vertical journey straight down the country's spine from north to south. So, our journey starts way up in the north in the Tabuk province. And what's happening here? It's not just construction. It's something else entirely. It's geoengineering. We're talking about changing the environment on a massive scale. To build these futuristic projects, like the Trajana Mountain Resort, engineers are, and I'm not kidding, hollowing out entire mountains. It's like geology itself is being forced to bend to human ambition.
Now, as we head south from those mountains, we hit that classic image of Saudi Arabia. We cross the Ad Dahana Desert. And get this, it's a huge crescent of sand that stretches for 1,200 kilometers. This is that vast, dry heartland that has defined the kingdom for centuries.
But here's where it gets really interesting. If you keep going south, past all that sand, everything you think you know about Saudi Arabia's geography just changes. The whole desert idea, it completely shatters.
Because you arrive in the Asir Mountains, and you won't believe it. This place can get over 1,000 millimeters of rain a year. A year! It's covered in these lush, terraced farms where they grow coffee and cotton and ginger. It's so different, it's actually one of the last places on Earth you can find the Arabian leopard. I mean, this is not the desert. This is Saudi Arabia's hidden green secret.
Okay, so we've gone north to south. Now, let's pivot. We're going to look at the country's other key axis, the horizontal line of ambition, connecting east to west.
So, over on the west coast, you've got the Red Sea. For centuries, this has been the front door to the Arabian world, a gateway for trade and for millions of pilgrims heading to Mecca and Medina. Cities like Jeddah are the big commercial engines here.
Then you jump all the way to the other side, to the east coast, facing the Arabian Gulf, and it's a totally different world. This is the industrial core of the kingdom. It's home to cities like Dammam and Jubail, and all that massive energy infrastructure that, pretty much powers the entire global economy. So what's the big problem? Well, it's the 1,500 kilometers of seriously harsh desert and plateau that sit right between these two economic giants. For all of history, that huge distance has been a major roadblock for trade, for travel, for everything.
And that brings us right to the heart of the modern plan. How do you connect the coasts?
So here's the big question that Vision 2030 is trying to answer. How on earth do you conquer 1,500 kilometers of desert to bring two global coasts together?
The answer? With an absolutely colossal piece of engineering. We're talking about the $7 billion land bridge high-speed rail project. Just think about what this does. A truck driving from the capital, Riyadh, to the port city of Jeddah. That's about a 12-hour trip right now. On this new rail line, it's going to be less than 4 hours. This isn't just about making things faster. It's about literally shrinking the map.
So let's pull all this together. What we're seeing is a nation that isn't just building stuff, it's actively reshaping its own geography.
And there's a clear strategy behind all of it. Each part of the country has a role to play. You've got the North with its massive geoengineering projects, becoming a hub for future technology. Then there's the Green South, being set aside for biodiversity and conservation. And finally, the coasts, now linked together, are being set up to be a huge player in global logistics and trade.
Now you might be thinking this all sounds like a lot of concrete and steel, but there's another side to this story. Supporting all of this is the Saudi Green Initiative, which is this huge commitment to make sure all this incredible ambition is balanced with real conservation work.
And the scale of that commitment is pretty staggering. Get this number. The goal is to cut annual carbon emissions by 278 million tons by 2030, and at the same time protect environments on both land and sea. Like those amazing green mountains down in Asir.
So, all of this leaves us with one final, pretty wild thought.
What happens when a country stops looking at its map as just a fixed piece of paper and starts using it as a blueprint to build its future?